Well, snow squall warnings remain in effect in areas such as Barrie and Collingwood after a weekend of heavy snowfall. Meanwhile, the snow has brought traffic to a halt and people are being urged to stay off the roads.
All right, must have been a busy weekend for OPP, so let's bring in OPP Sergeant Carrie Schmidt now with the Highway Safety Division. Good to talk to you, Sergeant, this morning about the situation here. What is the very latest? Because I can only imagine how much that your division was working this weekend.
Yeah, do you know what? This is actually north of the GTA. So again, between Orillia and Huntsville, we still have a full closure of Highway 11 between West Street and Orillia and Highway 60 in Huntsville. Road crews and cleanup crews, MTO, are working diligently. The vehicles, the hundreds of vehicles that were stranded there because of impassable roads have been removed. And I was just speaking to our incident commander up in that area that is working on getting all the resources in place to be able to have a reopening. And I'm actually being told right now that hopefully by noon, in a few hours, we will have traffic moving in both directions on Highway 11 throughout the entire stretch. There's still significant amounts of ice accumulation. We're waiting for the salt to really start engaging in that ice to melt it off and get that down to an asphalt surface so we can have highways reopening. You know, we don't want to have an intermittent type of reopening or just small sections, because that would just overwhelm some of the side roads in the area through Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, down to Orillia. So we do have good news on the horizon, and hopefully with the next 4 hours or so, we should see traffic moving again on Highway 11 through that affected area.
Okay, yeah, that is certainly good news, and to hear that the vehicles have been cleared, the ones that were stuck. And Carrie Schmidt, in the event that there is more snowfall, Environment Canada saying we could expect, I think, 25 centimeters throughout today. Are there snow plows working? I know you mentioned the salt trucks will be laying down the salt, but what can drivers expect in terms of plows?
Yeah, snow plows are out there, and I'm actually here at the Compass Center. You can see behind me, they're monitoring all the traffic, and you can even track your plows as well on Track My Plow, and keep an eye on 511.ca for information on their website, or when you call in for updated road closures information. I know they brought in extra snow removal equipment, even from Pearson Airport, some significant snow blowing type of equipment that's throwing the snow off the highway to get those lanes open, and every available resource we can find along in collaboration with the Ministry of Transportation, the road maintenance crews, and all those snow removal equipment operators are working hard to get that snow cleared, that ice melted, and traffic moving again, because I know it's been a very frustrating couple of days or weekend for people in that area, and we're doing everything we can. Of course, Mother Nature certainly has a lot of power to affect our ability to get around, but we're doing the best we can, and we want to make sure everyone is safe before we pull those cones. So in the meantime, please do not go on closed highways, especially Highway 11, as crews are still working in those areas, and we want to make sure it's safe for everybody before we start getting vehicles up on Highway 11.
No doubt about that, and that's a great point. Now, Sergeant Schmidt, I'm also curious, what is the advice you give to people who may actually get stuck on a highway as sort of suddenly, as quickly as happened over the weekend? We know we should have sort of blankets and candles and things like that, but what's the advice, for drivers in particular if you are in fact stuck or trapped, really?
Well, it's a pretty scary situation. You may be in blowing snow, limited visibility. You may be on a live lane and there's traffic coming behind you. So obviously making yourself as visible as possible, keeping your full headlighting system on, your four-way flashing lights on if you're a hazard, if you're blocking lanes, if you're not able to move. Sometimes being as something as simple as turning off your traction control, getting those tires spinning might give you enough energy and momentum to get yourself moving again. But when we have those kinds of significant snowfall, it can be very challenging. Obviously keep your eyes on the road, avoid travel if you don't have to, but if you are stuck in those areas, keep your cell phone charged, keep your charger with you as well. You may or may not be in cell phone service area, so obviously telling people where you are, where you're going, when you're expected back. Call Star OPP if you need assistance or support in any way. We will get resources to help you out, and again, having that equipment with you, boots and a shovel and a jacket. You may think you're just going down the road a short distance and you don't need to be dressed for harsh winter elements, but you should be prepared, and winter is here, and let's be ready, because you don't know when it could hit. And some of these snow streamers and squalls, they can come with really very little warning, and all of a sudden you end up either in the ditch or sitting sideways or in a collision with another vehicle. We want you to stay safe, so stay in your vehicle, keep your engine running, make sure your exhaust is clear, and again, keep your lights on, your seatbelt on, and just be aware of your surroundings. And just do your best, and we're going to get our officers to get there to assist as conditions make it available for us.
Yeah, okay, OPP Sergeant Kerry Schmidt, thank you. And of course, keep in mind that things might be different if you own an electric vehicle that runs on battery as well. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Sergeant
Thank you,
Schmidt.
Sarge.